me that speak to you, seated here, was one of the greatest critics of Jonathan's presidency. I didn't know that God will disgrace me to show me that Jonathan was even a saint.
It is what is called nemesis and karma. Jonathan was blackmailed. Using what? Using Boko Haram. By who? By desperate politicians who are out for power at all costs. They were all over. They went to America, they went everywhere. They want Jonathan what? Removed. Jonathan, being a gentleman, fully aware that he was being blackmailed, went and even congratulated Buhari. He stepped aside. 10 years down the line, Jonathan must be laughing in his private bedroom now. 10 years down the line, Jonathan will feel vindicated now. 10 years along the line, they are reaping exactly what they sow, that of blackmail, that of hate, that of desperation for power that they planted 10 years ago, they are now harvesting. It is karma at play. It is nemesis at play. The same politician now that are running helter-skelter, contributing $1 billion naira, spending trillions of naira, buying drones, are the same people that blackmailed Jonathan. Therefore, it is a warning that every day could be for the thief, one day could be for the owner. You can continue to blackmail, you can continue to intimidate, you can continue to arrest, you can continue to pretend, but a harvest day always awaits the pretenders, the blackmailers, and the intimidators.
During Jonathan's birthday, is it Friday or Thursday? Thursday or Wednesday, I spoke to journalists.
Yes, I think I saw that clip.
I spoke to journalists, and I said something. Me that speak to you, seated here, was one of the greatest critics of Jonathan's presidency and the way at that time he handled matters. I didn't know that God will disgrace me to show me that Jonathan was even a saint and a better administrator than those that follow him. First, as a third world leader, the insecurity reached its highest level some few days to election. And Jonathan suspended the election, put off the election, and took another 6 weeks and brought mercenaries. If this government today has that opportunity of chaos, 1 or 2 weeks to election, they will allow it to continue so that they can write figures and announce themselves as winners. But Jonathan stopped that election, and he knew for sure that if there was a free and fair election, no incumbent government can get second term. He's an educated man with PhD. He knows that. But because of his humane nature, he postponed the election for 6 weeks, brought in mercenaries, and within 6 weeks, those mercenaries stabilized Nigeria, and there was no polling booth in Nigeria that elections did not take place. So, even from your enemy, in fact, you learn more from your enemy. If Jonathan has done that time, 2015, what stops this government from copying what Jonathan has done? After all, hiring mercenaries to deal with this insurgency and other pockets of banditry across the country costs less than 10% of what the military takes today. So economically, it is better to hire the mercenaries, give them contract, secure this area, we will pay you this, and you fold your arms. And it is done. The credit goes to you. So why can't Nigerian leaders be patriotic citizens of our country.
Well, many of them would argue that they're not being patriotic if they hire mercenaries. I mean, they'd feel that they're undermining the Nigerian security services.
Is it the pride of being...
I'm not speaking for them, I'm just saying.
Is it the pride of being in office or the finding a solution that protects the ordinary man that can go to his farm?
I think many people would agree with you, because that would have a positive knock-on effect on the economy of this country. Because people would be able to return to agriculture, get their jobs, have a sense of security. The key thing...
Then the tax reform in January can now get more net to capture a lot of people. Let me tell you, I just saw in the social media a journalist like you who talked to the ISWAP commander who killed Brigadier General Musa, who got him captured and killed him. And he told him that, as I sit where I am, I have the picture of Sambisa, the whole of it. Even if an ant is entering Sambisa, that they can see.
That's what the SWAT person said.
Yes.
So they're using technology themselves, obviously.
So if a bandit or a Boko Haram fighter has access to those equipments, what stops the Nigerian government?
That's a very good question.
And do you remember that some few months ago at Banki, near Cameroon border, they used drones? And in Marte, they used drones to kill our soldiers and officers. And nobody can tell me that because of collateral damage, the Boko Haram and the whatever, they don't stay with those that they captured. They live a life of their own elsewhere outside, where those captured with their small people guarding them. And the security people know. Look, we have to be serious. We have to put pressure on these elements for them to surrender.
Weighty comments, or if you like, allegations, as the case may be. You say back then desperate politicians using Boko Haram blackmailed former President Jonathan, and they're the same who are now buying equipment, who are buying drones. It seems like this will not go away in the polity. Just yesterday, ex-CDS General Rabo was saying that some politicians are funding terrorism. Prior to that time, some other speakers have said there are certain persons, even in the government, that are funding terrorism. How does that relate really to also, or contrasts with the decision of the northern governors to suspend mining in the north? And we've heard, also that some foreign nationals are also fueling banditry in Nigeria's north. How does this all tie together?
See, let them give you the list of people they granted the mining license. If you see the list, you will cry. I have the list up to 2024. I don't have that of 2025, but if you look at the characters and the characterization of the people given the license for mining, your mouth will drop. If you travel to Dubai airport, Dubai, they have no gold at all. In the entire space of Dubai, there is no single deposit of gold. But now Dubai is a heaven for gold. And the 65% of the gold going to Dubai is coming from Africa. Of the 65%, 42 comes from Nigeria. Go to Dubai airport, go to the declaration desk, and see how raw gold is being declared for entry into Dubai. It's not illegal. You can take any quantum of gold, especially if it is raw, to Dubai, and you will have your dollar paid to you there instantly and instantaneously. Therefore, it is not the mining. They would never suspend mining. The owners of mining license are more powerful than the owners of oil wells in the south.
Goodluck Jonathan was president, and they tried as much as they could to make the entire country ungovernable for him. They revolted, and my very before, a bike man, a northerner, called Goodluck Jonathan, on national television, They revolted, the insecurity and everything. The North didn't want Goodluck Jonathan. Buhari entered seat. The North complained things had become hard, insecurity had taken over the entire place, and the price of petrol has increased from 97 naira to 200 naira. They complained and complained and complained. He managed to rule for 8 years. They were the ones who insisted it was going to be a Northern. Now Northern has come, they complained. As if that was not enough. Now Yoruba man is on seat. The North is still unsatisfied. They have revolted and they have complained and complained to the point where they want to forcefully take him out with a coup. What does the North really want in Nigeria? Like, what does the North really want? What does the North really want? Everybody's come. The North has more expensive natural resources, solid minerals, natural resources than the East, than the West, than the South, than every other part of the country. The North has that. They have the largest landmass. What are you? They are more in power. Yet the North is not satisfied. Maybe we'll have to run away from this country for the Northerners. Now they want to be in power, Northerners.
All right. This popular group in the northern part of Nigeria have tendered an open apology to Jonathan, the former president of Nigeria. They are asking him for forgiveness. They said they were misled by one former president of America and some desperate Nigerian politicians. And just because they want to frustrate the government of President Jonathan, former President Jonathan, they had to start creating tension. They had to start creating a false narrative out there through the media to accuse Jonathan of being a co-sponsor of Boko Haram. You can imagine that. They said Jonathan created unrest in the northern part of Nigeria. So while Jonathan was in government, the Secretary of State in the US invited some northern governors to the US for a meeting. Why we have a president? We can imagine that. So that was how they did. They frustrated this man. Although Jonathan has his own flaws. Yeah, he has his own flaws. But an external body was interfering in another nation's political sphere. It doesn't make sense. So that was how they rubbished him and they removed him from the office. Jonathan couldn't do anything. While Boko Haram were busy unaliving innocent Nigerians in the northern part of Nigeria, Jonathan tried to get equipment to the Nigerian military. But all efforts to get the military were frustrated by the US because they refused to sell weapons to us. According to them, the reason they gave, they said the Nigerian military, they accused them of human rights abuse, that they can't sell such weapon to them. That was the reason they gave. So they refused selling for us. So they had to frustrate Jonathan all to the point that he was helpless, and that contributed to why he lost the election. So now these groups are coming out to say, oh, now we know that Jonathan is not the co-sponsors. Our eyes have opened.
Welcome back. These northern people, is it not enough for them to stop all this they are doing? Because I don't see anything or understand all this thing again, because we normally, and we all know that before this Jonathan issue started, then although this apology, it doesn't matter. If I were Jonathan, I would not even accept this type of apology. And all this they are talk that they are just talking, because this one is not something that we should even call an apology for person, because what these guys had done to Jonathan will never ever forget in his life, because they had betrayed him. They had betrayed him in many ways. If you know how this Jonathan had planned to protect the north more than any other region, you will know that Jonathan had a bigger plan for these northerners than any other person. But they fall his hand, and now they are here to mock him and say that it is an apology. Although we have nothing to say, because even as we are even talking, this man on the throne, he was part of them then. So instead of all these northerner people like Galadima and this man here, what's his name again, instead of them to just be here been criticizing Tinubu, they should just go inside and sleep, because that one, concern anybody, concern them. We Nigerians, we never told them that we are suffering or we are facing any insecurity, although I know that we are really facing a lot of insecurity, but any insecurity that is a northern person, or that should be a northern person to come out to tell us, that one nobody will accept it. Because if they could not come out during their own people's time, they should not come out during anybody's time, because these northern people, they are fake. Why am I calling them fake? I'm calling them fake because I'm angry with them. I don't like what they normally do. They don't even think twice before they take any action. That is what that has led them to where they are today. Because if you notice now, them be the people who say they suffer most, and it good as it be so. Because waiting they've been like set for other people now, waiting God, they fight them now. And you see this Jonathan of a man, where we say that they use one indirect something to make it feel like come back in the next election, if he know what is good for him, because many persons or many people have been praising him because of the work he had done, and because of how he had accepted to step down during his tenure without anything. If he has allowed himself to be part of this upcoming 2027 election, Nigeria and people will not forget. Now insult wey be say go beat to am. So make it just sit down, think well, make all these guys wey don betray am before, make dem no go push am to inside or for inside any gutter wey he know nothing about, because these guys mindset are not good. They don't have any good mindset. Na to just destroy na be wetin dey their head. The brain wey be say they carry, if you give that brain to this aeroplane wey be say dey fly for up, aeroplane na reverse, na im go dey reverse. The brain wey be say they carry, if you give one to all this bird wey be say dey fly, they go dey fly backward. So all these people na backwardness, na im be wetin dem want. As I dey vex with them today, na so I go continue to dey vex with them till wey be say they don come out to see that them they no go put mouth for anything wey be say concern this country again. And even though they wan come out, make it be when it has come to their own turn. Because even this insecurity that is going on recently, we know how far about it. We know say na them dey do am. So none of us will blame Tinubu or doing anything now. Thank God Tinubu know how to play them, and he is playing them. Even as they kidnap some children from certain school, Tinubu he used the money, because not be his own money, na the same Nigerian money. He touch am, he pay people wey be say they kidnap, he push money give them, they release those guys, make you know say he sabi am pass them. You know, fit tell me say person wey be say na him hold the money, go fit just dey use anything dey torment am, dey whine yourself, una dey whine una sef. Na so e be. And for una wey be say una dey hear us, una know wetin we dey talk for here. If una get anything wey una wan drop concerning what we are saying here, make una drop wetin una get below. And also, if today is the first time you come into this place, please kindly like, share, subscribe. Thank you.